Today we're removing the stereo from a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder. We see this stereo quite often in shop. There are several varieties of the stereo. We've seen a single DIN AM/FM cassette with an add-on 6 CD changer, and we've seen the all-in-one double DIN as well. Today we have a CD problem with this radio, and we're going to take this out of the dash and put it up in the shop to see what we can do about taking care of it. We have repair estimates on our website at carstereohelp.com, along with other removal guides and videos and so on. We're going to start with our pry tool, and what we're going to attempt to do is take the AC vents out of the dash. This can be rather difficult at times depending on the age and of the vehicle and so on. This panel tends to stick a little bit. So I have several pry tools so we can work our way around. We're going to pry gently and work our way around. This can be, like I say, somewhat difficult because we've seen sometimes you get one side out and can't get the other side out, so then you have to pop the original side back in and work yourself around again. But we're going to work on this first. And that was probably one of the easiest ones I've seen done. We're going to pull the panel out from the dash. There is a connector here that goes to the clock, and the trigger for this connector, of course, is underneath, so it's very difficult to reach, and you have to squeeze that trigger into the connector in order to release it and wiggle. Again, the connector is here on the top. A little bit of thumb pressure on the connector pushes the lock down and you're able to wiggle it loose. This is going to give access to 2 Phillips screws, one here on the top right, one here on the top left. Now we're going to put the key in the ignition, set the parking brake, and shift to a lower gear. This will give us more room when it comes to pulling the dash forward. We're going to again gently pull back on the edge, along with prying along the edge of the panel as well. We're going to work down both sides again. And this panel will pull forward. Again, at the emergency flashers and the rear window defrost, we've got connectors here with little triggers on them. And I'm going to use the end of my screwdriver to push them down because my thumbnail is not big enough to push on that connector. Again, the trigger is at the center of the connector here, and you push that down. Same with the second connector here. We're going to push the trigger down and wiggle this connector loose from the rear window defrost. This is a tough connector here today. There we go. And that will allow us to bring the panel forward, and down on the cigarette lighter as well, there's a trigger on the side. You just squeeze this one in and wiggle the connector loose. And we're going to set this panel to the side. Now we're going to take our Phillips screwdriver and remove one screw on the bottom left here. All the connectors in this car are keyed, so you don't have to label them as to which position they go to, because they only mate back to one spot on all the panels. so there's no mixing the connectors up and worrying about where they go. Now this is the removable, the 4-3 mounting screw for the stereo, and we got that out. Now we're going to grasp the stereo and pull it from the dash. And there are several connectors here on this stereo as well. We have the antenna, which has a trigger on the side of it here that you have to squeeze into the connector to release. There's a little black trigger on the top of this DIN connector, and we're going to push that in and wiggle that connector loose. Now we're going to turn it around because it gives us better access to the triggers on all these connectors here. And we're going to start with the first one and squeeze the trigger down into it and wiggle that connector loose. Next we're going to go back. We have 2 more connectors that have triggers on it. These 2 are very difficult, so I'm going to use the end of the Phillips screwdriver to push on them while I remove the connectors. There's 1, there's 2. And if you're having questions or problems about this audio system, we can help you with this. This is a Bose system, and this is how you remove the stereo from a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder. Thank you for watching. Please see our other videos at our website again, carstereohelp.com, and thank you for watching.